Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since I did an update on my diastasis recti repair. We have been in the middle of a move. You can see there are still boxes everywhere and things are kind of a mess here, and I'm just not really back to blogging or posting much on social media or anything like that. I just am busy. But I did have my 2-month post-op appointment just recently here. I am just at the 2-month mark from the surgery, or the 8-week mark. It'll be 2 months exactly Wednesday. So anyway, I wanted to update and I wanted to tell you that there have been a couple of disappointments, or just one disappointment, I guess, really. And it's something that has to do with expectations. And so I want to share this because I feel like we need to have realistic expectations when it comes to things like diastasis recti repair and tummy tucks and things like that. So for those of you who aren't familiar, if you go back, you'll realize that I decided to have my diastasis recti surgically sewn together, and then I had all the excess skin from 10 babies removed. Now, from the pictures, you can obviously see that I still have stretch marks. All of the stretch marks are there. It's not like they took away those stretch marks, and I'm actually really glad about that because I worked hard for those stretch marks, and so I'm not looking for a beach body bikini wearing, type of situation. That's not what it want at all. However, I think I had a little bit of a false notion that I would have really flat abs when it came right down to it. Now, here's the thing that I totally didn't think about. And first of all, I almost would discourage looking at a lot of plastic surgery sites. I have really been helped by the Real Self site, but a lot of plastic surgeons' websites are unrealistic. They're choosing the best of the best, and they're choosing to show you flat abs and things like that, that for a mom of 10, I'm not going to have those results. And I thought I was going into this fairly realistic, but I realize now, after looking at so many of those pictures, I thought, oh, maybe. And then coming out of surgery, if you look at my immediate post-op video, you will see that after surgery, everything was just flat as flat could be. It's not like that now. I'm, like I said, 2 months post-op, and while I still have some swelling and I still have tenderness here at the top, I'll kind of show you right here. It's just above my belly button, and I have a lot of tenderness there. My surgeon kind of pressed on it and everything. The muscles are still together, and she said all that scar tissue by this point is coming together and it's healing, and there shouldn't be a split there, and there isn't. I can tell. I have checked for the diastasis myself. It's not a diastasis, but there is a bit of a bulge. And at the end of this video, I'll show you pictures from the side and the front. And I asked her about it because with the tenderness, I was curious too, why is it tender? And she didn't have an answer for that. She said it could still be just the healing process. Of course, my muscles have not been in this place for over a decade. And she said that, there is still a little bit of tensing here and there that my muscles do, especially first thing in the morning. It's like they don't know what to do. And so there is still some of that. And the worst of my diastasis was up higher than down low. So it could just be that as far as the pain. And it's not an awful pain, it's a tenderness, I guess you would say. Now the bulge itself, I have always, throughout this entire process, I have had swelling, especially when I moved to the compression wear. I would swell up top and then I would swell down below. And it just seemed like that was something that was happening. Well, now I'm not swelling nearly as much down below. And granted, your swelling still continues, and so I don't quite know. And my doctor also said this. She said it could still be swelling, but she's wondering if potentially it's a laxity in the muscles. And because I've never had washboard abs, I've always kind of had a weak core. It may just be that my muscles just have a bit of laxity there. I've also done some reading that suggests that if you have any pockets of fat still, that might be what you're seeing. And here's the thing. I told myself when I first started this journey that anything was going to be better than what I had been dealing with. And I think somewhere along the line, I got these crazy expectations that this was going to be like flat stomach city. And it was going to be something that absolutely was not possible. And I started to get that in my head. And now I realize that I feel better. I look better. There's not all the excess skin there. I can wear clothes without compression. My doctor has said that they really don't see anything past the 3-month mark, any reason to wear compression. I still wear my brace from time to time, and I'll explain that here in a second. But I feel so much better that I think I just had some expectations that were not really that reasonable or that normal, and that actually a lot of people's tummy tucks, unless you've maybe had one child, you've had washboard abs, you haven't had any kids, there's not really going to be a totally flat stomach in this for you. This is really going to be more of repairing your core, helping you to feel stronger, and then if you do have the loose skin, getting rid of that as well. As you saw from the pictures in the original videos, I had a lot of loose skin. I had a lot pushing out. All of that, you know, still has to be pushed back in, sewn shut, and it's still kind of pushing there. And I have just started the tummy team workouts. I'm going to be doing those for the 8-week program, the core program, the online one. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just working through those first week videos. There's a lot of them. So I'm watching those. She's put some new things in there since I did the program 2 or 3 years ago, whenever that was. I think it was 2015, the last time I did the program. So she's added some new things and a lot of information that's really, really good. And so I am working on strengthening my core, because they can pull those muscles together, but that doesn't mean this is strong. This core is still just as wimpy as it was before. It's just my muscles are in the right place now, which I feel like is a huge benefit, and that I'm going to have the opportunity then to build those muscles right where they are. So I'm excited to see how this works with the tummy team, and whether or not I see a lot more strength in my core. I am off of any weight restrictions and picking up things and lifting things and stuff like that. However, she said, you know, be reasonable. If you start to feel something that hurts, stop. And I will be honest, about 2 weeks ago, I was bent over, I sneezed and pulled a muscle. And it hurt. For 2 days I was down where I couldn't do anything. And that's gonna happen because you've got all that force pushing out on those, and you just have to be careful, and you may hurt yourself from time to time, and then you kind of have to realize, yeah, I gotta ratchet that back because I'm not to that place. Okay, so before I show you the pictures and talk a little bit about this bulge, I want to go back and talk about the compression and the brace and stuff like that. I've gone back and forth with the brace versus the compression. The brace that they gave me in the hospital was actually really great, and the compression hurt. And I have been able to wear the compression now without it hurting, but it was hitting me at just the wrong spot. But I have found that with the brace that they gave me in the hospital, I tend to have more swelling. So it's kind of a catch-22. I can't really win with this, but I do feel like I need to continue wearing something. And the reason for that is because I still don't have a lot of feeling in there. And so it feels weird to me to not have something holding there that I can feel. And that's just a personal thing. I will put a link to the brace because I needed to go out and buy another one. I bought it off of Amazon. It's a DJ or Don Joy. I'm not sure if they go by Don Joy anymore, but I'm familiar with the company because I've used some of their products before. In fact, I think I wore a pregnancy brace that they had, or some back brace or something years ago, to try to help with the diastases. So I did go ahead and buy one of those because the one I got from the hospital was shot, and I've been wearing some compression. I've tried different things, and really I tend to just go back to the fold over Velcro brace that I started out with, but I do find that at the end of the day I do tend to have a little more swelling with that. That's kind of a segue into these photos. These photos, the ones that I'm going to show you, were taken in the afternoon, the late afternoon, not the morning. My doctors encouraged that this tenderness and the bulge seems to be worse at night because it could still be a lot of swelling. And I'm encouraged by that too, but I do still see a bit of the bulge in the morning. And so I'm more apt to believe that I probably have some muscle laxity. I maybe have a pocket of fat there. That's gonna just take getting stronger, losing a little bit more weight. I still have about 5 to 10 pounds I'd like to lose. That same 5 to 10 pounds I wanted to lose before surgery, I still have it. So there's that. I don't think though that that's going to make a huge difference. I'm anxious to see if there's any sort of core work that can build that, but in the end, I really need to just accept the fact that I'm the mother of 10 kids. I have more than my fair share of stretch marks, and this was not the perfect fix. I was not going into this with the hopes that I was going to have a flat washboard stomach. Now, the pictures you're going to see, there are people out there who their stomach looks like that with a diastasis, and they're going in and they're getting results with a flat stomach, and they started out with my end result. I'm at a different place in my life. A lot of people that you're going to watch their videos or see photos, a lot of them have maybe 2 kids. And I'm in a different boat than that. And so you can't take their experience and my experience because they're kind of apples and oranges. They have a diastasis typically that is not nearly what mine was, and it's more, it's just kind of a tiny bulge, and they're having that fixed, and they maybe, they just haven't had the same experiences I have. And so I'm probably speaking more to the people who have had several kids, have had really big babies. I've had several 11-pounders, a lot of 10-pounders, and I've had, like I said, 10 kids. So I'm in a different boat, and again, I should not have had any expectations. And I came into the consult with no expectations other than I would really like this fixed and I'd like some of the loose skin gone. But at the beginning, I felt like, even just a little bit would be so much better than what I'm dealing with right now. And then as I started gearing up for the surgery and I'm looking at different websites and things like that, I see photos of women who have these flat stomachs, and I think I just kind of got a little sidetracked by that, and I really shouldn't have been looking at that. And so when people email me and want to know, my opinion on this whole surgery, I often tell them, stay away from the websites because they're actually not helpful for you to have a realistic expectation. But all in all, I am very pleased. I am pleased that the recti muscles are pulled together now. I'm pleased that the excess skin is gone, and I do feel like, I look so much better in my clothes. People are always like, oh, you've lost so much weight. Well, no, I haven't actually. It's just that my stomach's not bulging out all the time, because even with a brace on, I typically looked 4 or 5 months pregnant, probably more like 5 months to 6 months pregnant. And that was with the brace, and without it, I looked due any day. So for most people, for me, no, but that's just what I would caution you, is to have realistic expectations, especially considering where you started. And that's the thing that I think is key here. Where did you start? Who were you? What did your stomach look like before you had the diastasis? And that's going to give you a better understanding of where you're going to be at the end. And I think I would have had a more realistic expectation had I gone back and thought about where I came from, because like I said earlier, I didn't have strong muscles, and I did kind of have a bit of a bulge there even as a kid. I just never had that super flat stomach. So it makes sense that this is where I am now. So that said, here are the photos.